I want also to discuss, I mean, you are the Narok senator, you have the history of this particular region.
Yes, I do.
Do you think that this time round we're getting it right? Because it's a cycle, and it's almost like 5 years. We talk about Mao evictions. Do you think that this time round it's actually going to happen and to come to a conclusion? I'm
convinced, Betty, that we are going to be able to conclude. When I look at the history of the world, Martin Luther King had a dream, and Barack Obama fulfilled that dream. Olenti Mama had a dream of making sure that everyone lives Narok, the Masai Mao forest. Ledamo Olekin, as a senator, will strive to ensure that he fulfill that dream. It behooves us as leaders to ensure that we preserve this environment for future generation. So I am very, very, very happy. In fact, it's quite seldom that I agree with this government, but now I 100% wholesomely agree with this government that we need to preserve our natural resources.
There is something that came out. There's a petition, of course, to do with this particular case that came into court. And this particular petition is saying that, you know, the people who have ulterior motives to this Mao evictions, that they're senior political figures, like we always call them here in Kenya, who are actually after this particular parcels of land.
Are you sure you want to dwell into that?
Well, I'd like to hear your comment on that.
Let me break it down for you.
Yeah.
One, I personally have a case in the Narok Land Court to evict people out of the Mao forest.
Okay.
Okay. I came in as an interested party. This was a case which was filed by a group of Dendorobos who lived in the forest, who were settled there by the government. Because back in 2001, the government excised out some portion of land, which was about 65,000 acres, to settle about 9,000 families of the Dendorobos who lived there.
All right.
But they did not end up getting all the land. What happened, contrary to that, is that individuals who were ministers in the Moig era, who were, what would you call them, MPs, who were provincial administration, you know, what they say in Swahili, mabwenyenye, they are the ones who ended up getting those portions of land. So this issue of a petition filed recently by them, it is to try to protect their own interests, because these guys have been hiding among the poor people. So they know that once the poor people are evicted, then it will be next. Betty, what I have here is also another case that we filed. And in this case, this is another case which was filed by I'm not disclose the name, but I'm an interested party in this case as well. And part of this case, it looks at the entire history of the Mao Forest Complex. And a lot of what we've relied on this case has got to do with the Prime Minister Task Force report, which was tabled in Parliament, I think back in 2020, I think 2205 or something like that. But nothing ever happened.